All right, let's dive straight into this one because today we're breaking down a seriously high-stakes UEFA Nations League clash between Portugal and Croatia. And spoiler alert, this one ended up cementing a major place in football history. Welcome to The Explainer.
I mean, really, how do you score 900 goals in a single career? Just sit with that number for a second. Think about the consistency, the relentless drive, the physical endurance, and just the sheer undeniable talent it takes to find the back of the net 900 times at the absolute highest level of professional football. It's a question that completely sets the stage for the historic magnitude of what we're going to unpack today. Because, look, this match wasn't just some polite coronation. Oh no, it was a total dogfight. It was a night defined by a historic milestone, a frantic own goal that completely flipped the momentum, and an absolute battle that raged right down to the final whistle. It was a fast-paced, edge-of-your-seat thriller, and we're going to break it down chronologically so you can feel exactly how it all unfolded. But, before the whistle even blew and the chaos erupted, there was a profound moment of respect. The match opened with these really somber tributes to two absolute managerial legends of the game who recently passed away. Sven-Göran Eriksson, who had a brilliant run working in Portugal, and Christoph Daum, another towering figure who totally shaped modern European football. It really grounded the evening in this deep sense of history and respect before the battle kicked off. Well, that respectful silence quickly transitioned into absolute chaos on the pitch. I mean, the first half timeline alone is explosive. By the 7th minute, we've got an opening goal. By the 34th, we literally witness football history. And then, right on the stroke of halftime, at minute 45, the whole game flips on its head with an own goal. So let's see how this incredible sequence builds, starting with that very first strike.
All right, Section 1, Diogo Dalot's quick strike.
Now, when you're thinking about early goal-scoring threats for Portugal, you're probably looking at their star-studded forward line, right? But hey, football is totally a game of surprises. In just the 7th minute, fullback Diogo Dalot finds himself completely unexpectedly lingering inside the Croatian penalty area. He receives this neat little pass, and instead of crossing it, he just takes matters into his own hands. He fires a low, hard shot directly between the legs of the Croatian goalkeeper, Dominik Livakovic. And in football terms, getting scored on in the house, right through the legs, is pretty much a nightmare for a keeper. Portugal draws first blood.
But if you're thinking Portugal was just going to run away with the game at this point, the early stats tell a completely different story. Fouls are deadlocked at 3-3, which proves this is a gritty, incredibly physical battle in the midfield. But look at those corners. 1 for Portugal, 5 for Croatia. It is crystal clear that despite being down a goal, Croatia was relentlessly applying pressure, dominating on set pieces, and pushing really hard into Portuguese territory. They absolutely were not backing down.
Moving on to Section 2, the milestone, goal 900. So, as Croatia is pushing forward, they leave just a tiny bit of space at the back, and that brings us to the climax of the first half, the moment millions of people tuned in to see, the moment football history was permanently altered. Let's break down exactly how this historic 34th minute moment was orchestrated, because it was an absolute masterclass in team build-up. Step 1. Bernardo Silva, operating with his usual elite vision, pauses and plays a beautifully smart, delayed pass out wide. Step 2. Nuno Mendes, who had been an absolute menace down the flank all half, sprints onto it and delivers a razor-sharp, dangerous cross right into the box. And step 3. Cristiano Ronaldo, reading the play like he has literally hundreds of times before, ghosts into the perfect position and finishes it flawlessly. The stadium just erupts. 900. I mean, wow. This isn't just a statistic, it's basically a monument to an unprecedented work ethic. To reach 900 official career goals means you're scoring 40 goals a season for over 2 decades. It requires a level of physical maintenance, mental resilience, and pure predatory instinct that this sport has never really seen before. It's a staggering, almost incomprehensible achievement. And honestly, I think the commentators on the night absolutely nailed it. As the ball hit the back of the net, the raw, genuine reaction from the broadcast was simply, "This is some alien level." And they're right. Even seasoned observers, people who watch football every single day of their lives, still struggle to comprehend Ronaldo's enduring brilliance. He's just operating on a frequency that is entirely his own. To put this into perspective with some hard data, beyond the 900 total career goals, just look at his international record for a second. 131 national team goals in 213 matches for Portugal. Let me frame that for you. Most world-class strikers would consider 50 international goals to be, actually even 40 international goals, is a legendary Hall of Fame-worthy career for almost anyone else. Ronaldo has 131. His international record alone is a legendary career all by itself, completely separate from his club achievements. Which brings us to Section 3, Croatia's resurgence and the own goal. Look, Croatia is definitely not a team that just rolls over to watch someone else's party.
As the first half ticked down, the momentum shifted entirely. They refused to fold, they fought back instantly, and the game took this wildly dramatic, chaotic turn. Let's look at the anatomy of what happened in the 41st minute. It's a sequence born out of pure, scrappy desperation. Step 1. Croatia's Borna Sosa stretches for a ball that looks completely hopeless, like it's clearly heading out of play. Step 2, incredibly, while literally falling down, Sosa somehow manages to hook a cross back into the danger zone. Step 3, the ball flies into the box, hits the heel of Diogo Dalot, our hero from the 7th minute, and violently deflects under the crossbar and into his own net. It's a total mini tragedy for Dalot, but this desperate defensive deflection instantly breathes life back into Croatia. Boom, 2-1 at halftime. And finally, Section 4. Second half heroics and near misses. So we enter the second half, and guys, it turns into a completely different game. It's this intense end-to-end battle characterized by unbelievable individual efforts and absolute goalkeeping brilliance from both sides. Speaking of individual effort, Portugal's Pedro Neto picks up the ball in his own half and embarks on an absolutely insane, high-speed, long-busting run. He is moving at a blistering pace, so fast that he completely outstrips Joško Gvardiol, who is arguably one of the best defenders in the world, matching him stride for stride before Neto unleashes a rocket that smashes agonizingly against the crossbar. It was a breathtaking sprint that perfectly mirrored the frantic action on the pitch. And while the attackers were flying all over the place, the goalkeepers were putting on an absolute rapid-fire clinic. Dominik Livakovic redeemed himself from that early goal by brilliantly denying a fierce near-post strike from Ronaldo. Then, Livakovic dives to parry a trademark long-range blast from Bruno Fernandes. But down at the other end, Portugal's keeper Diogo Costa makes a stunning, fully extended diving save against Andre Kramaric to keep Portugal in the lead. Both of these keepers were under immense pressure, and both single-handedly kept their teams alive in this dogfight. As the clock ticked past 90 minutes, the desperation out there just reached its absolute peak. Croatia pushes incredibly deep into stoppage time. They're firing these close-range attempts, some rippling the outside of the netting, making half the stadium think they'd actually equalized. But Portugal's defense digs deep and just barely holds on. The final whistle blows, a 2-1 victory for Portugal. You really have to give it up for Croatia's incredible resilience here, fighting to the very last second despite missing absolute key pillars of their squad, like Stanisic and Brozovic. So we witnessed history, a brilliant tactical battle, and a player literally defying the limits of age. With 900 goals firmly secured and an utterly relentless hunger to keep competing at the very highest tier of international football, it makes you wonder, how far can Cristiano Ronaldo actually push this alien level before he finally hangs up his boots? Are we going to see 1,000? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep seeking out the incredible stories behind this.